Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. And guys, this is a very special watch party because usually it's just, my ridiculous face here watching a movie. But this time we are treated with the amazing company of Curtis and Jenks from Twisted Locker. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Davey.
Yeah. Anytime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and
I
you
can't
guys,
wait
so
to watch
you guys,
the shit film.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be awesome. I know, like when I put together the stream and I'm all telling people I'm excited about it and I'm making the thumbnail, I'm like, I just hope no matter, like as many times as I say that we're going to be making fun of this movie, I really hope that people come away with that and that they're not like, who's this fucker that likes Black Christmas 2019?
Yes.
Like I do not want to be, if I'm going to become YouTube famous, I don't want it to be because of something erroneous and terrible like that. But you guys were just doing a Christmas live stream where you were talking about all the horror films that have come out this year. Yeah, I mean, that was fun to jump in on. You guys, if you're not following Curtis and Jenks, there is a link in the description below so you guys can check out Twisted Locker. They do, pre-recorded videos. So where sometimes they're doing straight up film reviews. Other times it's like a list. And then, of course, they're going live pretty much once a weekend, right? On Sundays?
Every Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty consistent we've been, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like
every Sunday, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, late morning out here in the US, late morning to early afternoon, and then in the UK it's kind of mid-evening there. Yeah, we met it was back in April or May or something like that. I think I stumbled on your guys's channel and was like, oh, these guys are great and they have production value and their sub count is starting to fly through the roof here. What's going on? I better hitch my wagon to these fuckers.
We had the same idea because this guy's really good. He's got a good flair and we should hitch a wagon as well.
Hell yeah. Well, and this is something that ever since, so I watched this movie for the first time last year and reviewed it on the channel. And I was like, man, this movie would be great to watch and make fun of next year. And it was something that I wanted to get going with somebody. Every time I brought it up to another content creator, they just sort of let it hang in there. And you guys were like, all right, let's do it. And I'm like, okay, I finally found somebody that would watch this. But Jenks, you've never seen this movie.
No, and I was going to say, we'll take anything. Yeah. Any.
I know. Go ahead, Jenks.
Yeah, I've never seen this, Davey. I heard a shit. I like a shit film because I like shitting on films. And yeah, I've never seen the original either. Never been a fan of this type of film. But yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping on it.
Yeah, I watched this one back in 2019 when it came out. Forgot about it instantly. I don't remember any of the plot points. I remember the twist at the end. That's about it. But this isn't a movie that stayed with me. I think the 2006 one is underrated. I quite like that one. And the original is obviously a masterpiece. This one does not stand up well next to those two. I think the 2006 one, as much as people hate it, I think it's a 10 times better film than this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's sort of been, there's a revisionist history on the 06 version. Like when it was the only Black Christmas remake, people felt really comfortable shitting on it. And then this movie came out and people were like, oh, we thought we had it bad. We had no clue. Because
let's give it another chance.
Yeah, Black Christmas 2019 is, I mean, it just should have been called like Slay Girls. It's something like that. It's like they shouldn't have, like, the fact that they put the name on it is like they paid for the name and by God, they're going to use it because it's recognizable to a small group of the horror world. But Jenks, I recommend watching the original Black Christmas. I know you say you don't like that kind of film, but if you enjoy like Halloween or you enjoy something like Hush, I don't know how you feel about those movies.
Yeah, I love Hush. I don't mind Halloween. Look, I'm not a big Halloween fan. I like the first one. Some of the sequels are okay, but I love Hush. Anything Mike Flanagan does, I'm all over it. So after doing this channel, starting this channel a year ago, I am much more open to watching trashy films. Like I've seen Street Trash. I mean, there's nothing more trashy about that.
Wait there, though, but the original Black Christmas is a very classy movie. It
is. There's nothing there's nothing like gross about it or weird about it. It's got that, you've seen A Christmas Story, right? And have you seen Porky's? You ever seen Porky's?
Yes. Yeah.
So you know, like the humor and like the charm that's in, like it's the same director, and he brings some of those same performers and a lot of like that same feel. Like there is humor in that original Black Christmas that I swear reminds me of the humor in A Christmas Story. So it is a tasteful, you know, it's 1974. They weren't like too crazy with anything. It's nothing like the 06 version with the fucking skin cookies.
I think I think you're right. It's a bit like Texas Chainsaw. When 2003 one came out, people shit on it. Now there's been like 2 reboots since, and they are fucking awful. The 2003 is like a masterpiece now in comparison.
It is, and it feels weird with Texas Chainsaw. It's almost like every sequel is like a reboot, kind of. It just feels like every time they're like, "All right, we'll start it again. It'll be a comedy. Okay, we're gonna start it again, but he's gonna be a kid. Like, okay, we're gonna start it again, but Alexandra Daddario is gonna be in it. Or we're gonna start it again. It's gonna be and then that last one they did.
The worst line in horror history. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But she's super hot, though. She's super hot, so it does get a few brownie points.
Just a little bit.
She's not related to Leatherface. There's no bloodline there.
There could never be. There could never be. Cool, guys. Well, let's go ahead and say what's up to everybody in the chat, and we can kind of get this thing rolling here. I'll be watching. It sounds like Curtis, you have it pulled up on Netflix. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then I've got it on Max, and then Jenks, you're going to be watching, right?
Yeah, Netflix.
Better be. Cool.
Well.
All right. And guys, really quick before I say what's up to everybody, we do have a little poll in the chat just asking who's watching and who isn't watching. So it looks like most people aren't watching, but it is really cool to know that some people are. I get it, guys. There are some people in the chat that are probably like, I'm never going to watch this movie. But if there's ever going to be a way or a time to watch it, this is your time to watch it as we make fun of it. We got Lamontre Gillard in the chat. How you doing, Lamontre? Great to see ya. We got Ashton Luck. What's happening? Yes, this should be fun. It should be. We'll see. We'll see if Jenks spoils it for everyone. No, I'm just joking. I love how during your stream, you guys are like still giving me the you can back out of inviting us, Davey. If you want to back out of it.
You don't have to do it.
Yes.
You don't have to put yourself through it.
And we got Shay Rance in the chat, another Brit out there, another UK folk who's got a channel. Go check out Shay's channel if you haven't already. We got Dean Renner, one of our great channel members. How you doing, Dean? So awesome to see ya. Leanna Bevy Rage, one of our awesome Death Squad mods, hanging out here before starting to cook. Yeah, Leanna was telling me about all the things she's preparing for Christmas for her family. It sounds like 2 days full of work in the kitchen. Let's see here. Meatballs tomorrow. All right, Leanna. And we got Big Rod, one of our great channel members. How you doing, Big Rod? So good to see ya. Let's see here. We got Ella Star. Ella, I think I remember seeing you a little while. Is she coming from your guys' channel?
Yep.
Hi, Ella. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, that's a really cute cat, Ella. I'm a cat guy. Love to see it. Dogs are cool too. Don't get me wrong. They're just very, very needy. What's happening? Cody Snyder, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. For all the members out there, you can watch me review And All Through the House from Tales from the Crypt with Cody and Cody from Dude Who Loves Movies. And that's going to drop for everybody else here later on today. So keep an eye out for that. We got Ryan Olashow. It's always good to have a coffee with Bailey's on hand while watching the awesome Davey watch-alongs. Thank you so much, Ryan. That's too sweet. We got Gene Whitcomb. How you doing, Gene? So good to see ya. Let's see here. Aaron Click. What's happening, Aaron? Doing chores around the house, mostly just be listening, at least for a while. Hell yeah, man. Really appreciate you kicking it with us here. Pat, that Halloween movie collector, says this movie sucks swamp ass. Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna steal that one.
It's swamp ass.
Yeah, it's either the most self-aware comedy ever or the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't know. It's somewhere.
You think there's a chance, right, that they make another bad Black Christmas movie and everyone starts loving this one, or is it that bad?
I think it's that bad that even if they made a bad one after this, that one would look even better, right? But I mean, at this point, it's sort of like it's done and dusted, right? It's like at this point, you don't really need I mean, really, you don't need a sequel or any follow-up from the original. I think the It's Me, Billy movies are really good. Like the fan films are really good for what they are. But I think that, you know, the original Black Christmas is just like, you just sort of put a cap on it and leave it as is, you know?
I'm worried now. You're shitting on it so much that I'm going to like this because it can't be.
Maybe you will.
And I'll be disappointed.
We'll see. We'll see. It's a good, you know, it's a good litmus test to see if somebody's really a friend or not.
I'll be watching crying. This is the best film I've ever seen.
Yeah. We got Gina hanging out. My chunky Geordie. What's happening, Gina? Great to see ya. Apologies for my ignorance. Hey, no worries, no worries. Yes, I do believe that Ryan with two N's is a lady, as they say. Yes, I'm a girl, Big Rod. There you go. It's tough to tell sometimes, you know, with screen names and whatnot. What's happening, Andrew? So great to see you, man. Awesome that you can join us here. Really appreciate you being a Patreon member, man. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone, guys. If I've missed your chat, just shout at me, and I'll make sure to say what's up to you guys. Let's see here. Aaron's got a big one. Some people say a name change would recontextualize and improve the film. I disagree, though he hasn't seen it. It's as bad / hit you over the head with its messages. People say a title change won't help. That's true. I think it would help like Black Christmas fans like just not have to talk about it for sure. But yeah, it would be bad. It would be bad no matter what you call it for sure.
Yeah, crap Christmas.
Exactly. What's happening, Matthew Turner? Merry Christmas, lads. Looking forward to the show. Is that one of your guys as well?
Yeah, he jumped
Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas, Math.
Now, I know his taste, and he loves shit. Like, he's watched, like, She-Hulk,
okay.
all that shit.
We'll see. Maybe he likes this movie. You know, there have been a couple people, just to be fair to the folks that are, you know, subs over on my channel that hang out in the chat. A lot of it, like, you know, I've seen 2 or 3 people that are like, I don't hate this movie. Like, I don't like, they just don't really have a feeling about it. And I'm like, okay, like you can watch it and not really feel that. For me, it was like pause it every couple minutes and just sort of like laugh and talk to my wife about how ridiculous it all was. You know, it was this kind of movie. Let's see here. We got Don Keat hanging out. What's happening? Fancy meeting Jenks and Curtis here. Yeah, it's a little bit of a crossover. This is great. We should do this more often. We've got like 24 people kicking it with us here right now. That's really, really cool. Appreciate all you guys that are hanging with us here on the stream. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments and let me know, first off, what you think of Black Christmas 2019. Second off, should I ever bring these guys back on the channel? Just let me know.
That's going to be a astounding no.
There you go. Jordan Moran says, 3rd live stream back to back. Yeah, I think I saw you over there on TSL earlier. Hell yeah. I can't wait to watch you watch this nugget of gold shit. Oh, I love it. Cody says, I've never watched this movie before. I mean, I'm still not watching right now, but I didn't before either. Well, you should, Cody, because Cody is a Halloween Ends hater and he's only watched it once. And I swear it's like a movie you have to watch another time. And yeah, Cody, if you said that this movie was better than Halloween Ends, then we'd really have to get on a conference call and talk some very serious stuff. What's happening, Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod and channel member? How you doing? Isn't watching along, but likes hanging out. All right,
Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
And this is a back-to-back for Jamie as well, I think.
Yeah,
TSL, you guys, and then on over here. Boom, Leanna says it. Let's give Davey an early Christmas present and smash the like button. Yes, it really does help. It really does help because there's got to be some horror fan out there that's clicking onto YouTube. They're tired of seeing the same old thing. And then we might pop up on that homepage if you guys like it. But if you don't, then Santa's going to put a lump of coal in your stocking.
Yeah.
Medley Man says, I hate this movie, but it's not as bad as people say. It's still kind of well structured. Yeah, I mean, I think the 3-act structure of it isn't broken. It's just, God, what a dreadful script. I'm like, I have to take a moment. I almost need to like take a knee. It's so disturbing. This is a cool
overselling it. You're overselling it, Davey.
Okay, I won't. This movie's so good. The chicks are all really hot and plenty. They're very shapely and they don't dress like 8-year-olds. All right. Let's see here. Ashton can't bring himself to watch it, but wasn't going to miss the stream. That's fair. It might make some of the jokes land a little bit more, or some of our comments land a little bit more, but not required at all. All right, guys. Sorry, I have an itchy nose, and it might be because of the sweater. It's not because I'm Ellis from Die Hard, which we watched last night. The awesomest, jerkiest cokehead of all 80s movies. What's happening, Mark? How you doing, man? Great to see you guys. If you haven't checked out Tales from the Shelf, go give him a gander and see what you think. Tyler took the family to see Sonic 3 last night. I'm interested in that one, Tyler. I've actually liked the first two. Yeah, I like the first two Sonic movies. They're not like blowing my mind or anything, but it's like, man, we've had some talk about shit movies. Video game movies are some of the worst.
Yeah.
Knuckles was good as well. Knuckles was really good. The series.
Yeah. Cody does need to give Halloween Ends another watch. There it is. All right, let's put the pressure on Cody. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Yeah, I'm watching on Max. It's also available on Netflix. Again, if you haven't subbed to Twisted Locker, there's a link in the description below. And then, yeah, we've got that poll in there. So 22 votes, 46% of people are watching along and 54 are not. That's actually pretty good. I'll take it. Yes, I did. I don't know who Joe is. I'm totally missing that from Pat's channel. I don't know who Joe is. So you guys have to tell me. But yes, definitely an Ellis. Okay, let me pause the music. There we go. Cut that out right there. And then, yeah, let's bring up our timer here. So, guys, I have the timer set to 5 seconds. I'm going to push. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, go. On go, I'll start the movie. And then when the movie's at 5 seconds, I will resume the stopwatch. That way the time code is all in sync for everyone. So, all right. Are you guys ready, Curtis and Jenks?
Yep, I'm ready.
Are you sure you're ready, Jenks?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Excellent. Okay. So here we are. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I'm excited.
Here we go. Got that Universal logo coming up. For shame, Universal. How could you do this to us? Who the hell do you think you are?
The film is universally hated, so
there you go.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting that the same logo that's in front of Jaws is in front of this fucker.
Blumhouse used to be something you really aspired. Like this, they were so good at the start, but this is, yeah.
Well, and it always seems like Blumhouse has like those movies that no one cares about and or hates, but then they hit enough to where it makes sense. So right here we have this quote from a made-up character. So, if you have to make up your misogynistic quote for your movie about misogyny and toxic masculinity, that's kind of weird. You can't even pull something from real life, you know?
Yeah.
What is this, Resident Evil 4?
Imogen Poots is in this, isn't she?
Yes.
She is, yeah.
Yeah. What's she doing in this? She's great. Yeah,
she's not like bad, but as we'll see here, all of the women, it's like I don't know what they did with the costume design and the makeup on this movie. It's just everyone looks like frumpy and unappealing, and like it's bizarre.
You got to keep an eye on Curtis because he likes to fall asleep in films. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna put on those glasses that have like the eyes on them.
Draw eyes on my eyelids.
Yeah.
There you go.
I watched Scrooge today. Is it going to be as good as Scrooged with Bill Murray?
Oh, I don't think anything.
I watched it 2 days ago. Yes. Well, last week, I think.
This movie or Scrooged?
Scrooged. Not this movie.
Yeah, we just got a bunch of flat, shapeless whatevers hanging out here for Christmas.
Yeah, no sex appeal. It's too misogynist.
Yes.
My sound isn't great on the film. Is yours the same, guys? I find that on a stream if you're watching something.
It's okay. At least it's going through my headphones. And I've got I always put the captions on so I don't miss anything here.
Yeah, you don't want to miss any of this.
That's a good shout, Davey.
And already they're starting with the the vibrator jokes.
Yeah.
Now you'll never need a man because you have a vibrator. Because that's all. That's that's all anybody could provide for you.
This is so 2019, isn't it?
Yes. Well, and you know, I used to live in Portland, and holy shit, this is like the most Portland horror movie, or quote unquote horror movie.
I think at this time you were Harvey Weinstein until proven otherwise.
Exactly. And I think, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's all about, you know, measuring it well. So if you want to like make a point in a movie, I think it's like there's a fair, smart way to do it.
Yeah.
I even think the original Black Christmas deals with some really serious stuff, but in a way that doesn't talk down to the audience or tell them what to think.
Yeah, you can take what's going on in the news and think, oh, that's a cool idea for a film, but not actually trying to preach to people, and it's just very, very annoying.
Yeah. That's right. It could be any dude. And I get, it's like, so see there, it's, you know, in the original film, there are like these very, very obscene phone calls, like shockingly obscene with what Billy is saying on the phone. And so their version of that in this is just like emojis on a text. It's the most like
the worst contrast you can possibly think of. Like, you
yeah,
don't need to modernize it that much. People still use phones and people still call each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Ooh.
Shit my pants in.
Yeah.
Live.
Yes, Dean. Blumhouse had a part. They sure did. Something went on with like Jason Blum where I think it was his like way to prove that he wasn't against women. Toronto Freddy, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was shot in Toronto because I know it's a lot more affordable to shoot a film in Canada than the United States. What's up, Adrian?
I wish this film was worse because I'm quite enjoying it.
Oh, you just wait till they start talking.
I mean, she's not trying very hard to get away.
Yeah.
If someone was trying to kill me, they would not catch me. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Especially a walking killer.
She doesn't even really try to run like away. You know, she's like, I'm going to stand and fight. And it's like, why? You know?
No one's in. They're out caroling.
Yeah, just keep running in. Why do they stop places? It's so ridiculous. Oh, how do you get in there?
Trick or treat. And you turn around and run away. Please.
Oh, she's on the floor. That's quick.
This is a running theme in the movie too, is the killer mounting the victim. The victims always end up on the ground getting mounted.
Yeah.
And then this is like the funniest, most unintentionally hilarious thing I've ever seen. Because watch this. It just turns into a giant cock on screen.
Oh. What the fuck?
Like, that is fucking hilarious.
Is that meant to be a joke or is it meant to be a dig at cocks?
I don't know. To me, it's almost like unintentionally like hilarious that you're putting a big dong on the screen, you know?
It's quite clever, actually, if it was a scary movie.
Yeah. We just talked over the title card, but I think the title card might be the best part of the movie. Yes, Jamie, you're right. The frumpy look. It's prevalent in the world right now.
I really like Imogen Poots. I think she's a fantastic actress.
But here she is.
Rewatched 28 Weeks Later. She's very young in that.
And I don't know how to dress myself.
Diva cup.
Yeah, it's a thing that women can have their menstruations in and just wash out.
Oh,
it's supposed to be better for you, I guess. But this is great here. I mean, this is cinema. This is what you pay $14 to go in the theater and watch.
Is it?
And then this is just something they do all the time.
Are we not the target audience? Is it, or is nobody the target audience?
Well, I don't know, because we've got plenty of ladies in the chat now that either refuse to watch this movie or don't like it. So I think, and then she walks like she's got something up her fucking ass. Like,
you've got
like,
real
what?
in this film, Davey.
Oh, it's just it's absurd because it's so over the top. Like, you know.
Oh, I can see. Yeah, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting triggered.
No one should ever use the word bodacious.
Not since the 80s. It retired then. Woke Christmas.
I've never seen it written until I saw the subtitle either.
Yeah. I totally get it, Dave. I'd be watching if I wasn't hanging out with a couple of great guys here. Sorry, a couple of toxic males here.
Toxic, yeah.
This film is going to make me reevaluate how I see women. I can feel it. Yeah. It's empowering.
I'm going to take a good look at myself in the mirror later with my Christmas jumper on and go, no, you can be better. Is this the best a man can get?
Like Gillette, the best a man can get. What's happening? Frank Riker dropping the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for
Frank
jumping on in and saying what's up, Frank, making the rounds.
Very generous.
Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, Frank. Really appreciated and enjoyed your guys' creepy Santa, scary Santa stream earlier. Was hilarious.
She's the girl in that show. Oh, what was it called? The Consultant.
Yes, with Christoph Waltz.
Yes.
The girl with the dress here?
Yeah, the dark-skinned girl. She was the main one in Consultant. It was a mini-series. He took over his company. It was good, it was. Weird, but good.
Yeah. Yeah, did you guys see that the girl that put her pad on in front of the world was wearing a shirt that said, "Your monologue is boring me"?
Oh, was it? Did it say monologue? I read that monologue.
It did.
Oh, okay.
I always joke. I'm like, this is the most. It's like when Kevin Smith at some point in his career just had lost all subtlety and started doing everything like over the top. And this movie kind of reminds me of that, where it's like there's no creativity with the messaging.
Yeah, it's right on the nose, isn't it? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there a man spreading in this, sitting down with his legs apart on a train? It's got to be.
There's probably something like that for sure.
Yeah.
I think people forget when they talk about man spreading, they forget that guys have a cock and balls.
Yeah.
So there requires a little bit of space, you know.
And
there's
I'm
something
a lot
there.
more respectful. I cross my legs. I know my place.
I'm a lot more respectful. I just ride on the outside of the bus.
And what's worse?
Skateboard holding on to the back.
Guy I know would give up a seat for any woman or
sure.
you know, or an old person.
And we got Carrie Elwes here, of course. Everybody loves Carrie Elwes from
best,
Saw and
worst actor in the world.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Princess Bride and Robin Hood Men in Tights, top notch.
Saw,
yeah.
And the Layla, when he does the claw. Is it the claw?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he tries to do it, doesn't he? Yeah.
And he really is pouring on like the condescending version of the British accent here. He's dipping into something a little. He doesn't always sound this asshole-ish, does he?
No.
He's
like, you're British. You don't need to put it on.
And he's always got a borderline British American accent, isn't he?
But there's this little floating thing that's, why didn't you already know this before I said it to you?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of...
Yeah, he's got the Kelsey Grammer Fraser sort of American English kind of accent.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, look at that straight white man, bastard.
And it's funny, I did look this up because I was interested after the fake quote at the beginning. this person is a real person. The woman that said that he read that quote off, it really was a female PhD that does say some kind of wild shit. Black Me Too miss. Love it, Leanna.
That's great. Love it.
Dean, how did they pull out this casting call? Seeking young adult women willing to dress like 90s middle school boys. Yeah, I mean, if you're, a 20-year-old college girl, you should absolutely have high-waisted front butt jeans, right? I mean, let's just go ahead and lean into it.
Yeah, she's pretty hot, though. She can pull it off, I think.
I can't even tell. I mean, I'm not saying she's like, I'm not like, that's one thing that I didn't notice until, reading the 5-star reviews the other night from Letterboxd is, so in the original film, one of the
there's actually 5-star reviews.
There are 5-star reviews of this movie. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
In the original film, Claire's dad comes to the school and he's like looking for Claire. And there are older men and women that are trying to help. And then it seems in this movie, there's like no adults that want to help the girls. Like the girls really are just by themselves.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so on the nose, this film.
Yeah. Yeah. It's this whole like change the name of the college. And again, it's a made up person. So I take it
the original has nothing like this at all. It's just a killer on campus.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, they're all getting ready to go home for Christmas. The main character has recently found out that she's pregnant and she's not in love with her boyfriend and she has things she wants to do in her life, so she doesn't want to keep the baby. So that's like that's a part of the plot as well. Yeah.
There's only so much I can say.
Yeah. Yeah. Whose classics are they? Because they're not okay. So you go ahead and do the research and find the people from 400 years ago that fit that criteria that were writing great novels or whatever. Come on.
Yeah, I think only a human can only say so many times in one film. I think I've used them all up in the first 10 minutes. Like,
yeah. And there's also this whole like, I thought we were sisters. So there is this whole like cultish kind of feel behind it. A man will sign it? Baga?
What?
Oh, he's a pick-me, isn't he? He's a pick-me boy. I thought it was cool he tried to get in a car and half.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a pick-me thing to do.
And he's wearing a Cosby sweater.
I don't mind waiting.
Which is it's really funny that it's a Cosby sweater after all the stuff with Cosby.
Yeah.
She's got this like she teeters. She doesn't have a stride. She's like walks like a penguin. Walk like a penguin. Oh, when he holds the door open, he's fulfilled everything that a man should do. He's holding the door open. He signed the petition.
They've made him really effeminate as well.
Oh, just the touch.
Here's a jock. Oh, here's a jock.
Yeah.
He's going to be a dick.
Smarmy face, of course.
What a creep.
Yeah.
Blonde bastard.
Exactly. You probably like sports.
You bastard.
Oh, they always go skiing, don't they? They love it.
Yeah.
I bet his parents have got a lodge up in the mountain.
Yeah, a little cabin. Him and he's related to Trent from Friday the 13th 09.
I think Dan is the only jock in horror that doesn't get a drink thrown in his face from A Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Oh yeah.
Jock guy.
Yeah. Horror. Welcome to the chat. Yeah.
Lovely.
And just not like, again, like, I mean, like Aaron said, if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie, whatever you call it. But if they just didn't call it Black Christmas, it would have been a lot easier for everyone, including the filmmakers, I would imagine. And Jamie brings up a good point. It's like, it's not the messaging for her. It's just she's over remakes.
Yeah.
This is the question. Is this more connected to the original Black Friday than House 3 is to the House franchise?
Maybe. Yeah, this oh jeez. I was honestly, when the advertising came out for this movie, I was like, oh, like a Black Christmas remake where like the girls are more active and go after Billy. Like, okay, cool. And then you actually watch it and you're like, oh, it's not even close to that. Toronto Freddy, this movie makes me hate me. But Leanna reminds him, don't hate yourself, Freddy. Just recognize your internalized toxic masculinity and be mindful of your microaggressions.
Awesome.
And once again, the chat is providing much better commentary than I ever could. Appreciate it, Leanna. There you go. Cody dropped the link for Curtis and Jenks' channel there in the chat. So
appreciate it.
Check them out, guys.
Thank you, Cody, mate. I appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome.
What's happening, Hayden? Great to see you, man. We are watching Black Christmas 2019.
We were all supposed to have a drink today, and I'm the only one drinking. Disgusting.
I'm sorry. No, this is just straight up gin here in this cup. I'm just joking. That would be wild.
Is that Tobey Maguire? Kind of looks like Tobey Maguire.
Based on Tobey Maguire.
Brian Huntley.
Hell yeah, Ryan. There you go, Jamie.
Thank you.
Vibes. Thank you, Jamie.
And you know, I think one of the things that this movie like misses out is her character has like actually, you know, something traumatic that did happen to her, and I think like the over-the-top nature of the messaging just kind of cuts the legs out from like the part of this movie that should be taken seriously.
See, I would much rather watch the Simpsons Stonecutters episode than
oh, that's a classic. Oh, that's a classic. Yeah.
With like the Illuminati sort of, no, Freemason sort of like, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and this definitely, like, literally this statue like oozes black goo, which I just took as like it's supposed to represent masculinity, like incarnate. I love this from Dean. Nothing gets the juices flowing like high-waisted baggy jeans. Yeah. It's like in the early 90s where it was like somebody could have a rockin' bod, but the way they wore clothes, you're like, I can't even tell if you're like toned or a mess or what's going on. Like every time I watch Seinfeld, I'm like, what is, like, everyone looks like shaped anamorphous blobs.
It's the same if you watch series 1 of Friends. It's the difference between series 1 and 2 with the fashion is like night and day.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a year apart.
Yeah. Oh, it's really funny on a show like Friends where you can tell by the 3rd or 4th season that all of those people are megastars because now they look completely different. They're like all like hot and movie star looking.
I think fashion moved a lot quicker though back in the day, didn't it? Compared to now.
Yeah, and I think TV shows back then, network television pushed fashion a lot more, and now that's just not as much of a thing.
Because if you look at like the American Office, that aired like 10 years ago, the hairstyles are pretty much the same as what we have now. You know, nothing changed.
We haven't changed much. I think it ended with the 70s, 80s, 90s, and then early 2000s. I think fashion has kind of just stayed the same for a long time.
Well, and sometimes it recycles. Like these girls have that like early 90s look, you know, it just sort of, it's all secular. Looking for Claire in all the wrong places, sings Aaron Click.
I've got a friend who's had a drink, about 10 drinks thrown in his face over his lifetime. And he's just so lucky. You know, I've never been that popular or unpopular to be thrown.
You got to really elicit a reaction. I don't think that's ever happened to me either.
Yeah, it seems like a negative. It's like, no, that's a special thing.
It shows that you really can get under their skin, you know?
So many Brits in movies. It must be difficult to know who's American and who's not, isn't it? Like you forget that she's British.
It's one of the things that keeps me up at night. Jenks, is you people coming over here stealing our jobs. Fucking white Brits.
Well,
No. So which one is British? Imogen?
Imogen, yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I had no idea.
So
yeah. You guys are really
like,
good at doing our accents.
Well, it's like Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man are all British.
It's fucking crazy. Two Spider-Mans in a row.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland, yeah.
And then Henry Cavill and Batman.
Yeah.
What's his name? Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson, yeah.
Christian Bale.
And the Penguin is Irish.
Terrible.
You've got a
stereotype about Irish people being criminals.
We did have a Welsh James Bond one, so with Timothy Dalton.
True. He's one of my favorites. His two movies are two of the best, I think.
Yeah, they're good. And we've got Hannibal Lecter, the best one.
There you go. Yeah, there are it is interesting when you realize, oh my gosh, this person is Australian or British, and like they do such a convincing job. Like Simon Baker from Land of the Dead is Australian, but he does one of the best American accents in that movie.
Oh yeah. Because so many people I'd never heard of Welsh, you got to reel off celebrities like Tom Jones, Anthony Hopkins. Oh right, Welsh, right.
Yeah. Is there's got to be, I thought there were, you mentioned Dalton, right? There's what about oh my gosh, Robert Shaw? Is he Welsh? Or was he Welsh? Robert Shaw was Quint in Jaws.
Oh, I don't know. Is he Kurt?
I don't know. Not that I know of.
He might have just been regular, standard, boring Brit.
We've got Gareth Evans, director of The Raids, Apostle, Swansea Boy.
I will say this about this scene. I do think this scene has some charm here. I'll give the movie credit where credit's deserved.
It's very Mean Girls.
I'm like, I can deal with this for some reason because it's a song. I don't know what it is.
Wasn't a wink. Oh, he threw a paper airplane at her. That's going to stop her right in her tracks.
Teacher, bitch.
Okay, now I can see the British.
Well,
I think it's the teeth.
Yeah. Austin Powers.
Another Cosby sweater on this guy. Yeah. But the spoon and the pudding and the Cosby sweater.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the Cosby sweater.
I love these guys are reaching like 80s, like jock in an 80s comedy level of sneer, you know.
It's a shame this wasn't a bigger hit and they could have made like a scary movie sort of spoof of this.
It's too bad. It's too bad. Maybe they'll do that with Scary Movie, whatever. What is it? Scary Movie 6? I don't know. I don't care about those movies.
Kind of a reboot, but the state of comedy now is going to be shit, isn't it?
It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Oh, here's the pick me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course he thought it was really good. That takes guts.
Yeah.
Oh, as if she fancy him, he's hanging. I call bullshit.
Yeah. No. Oh, the most failed meet cute ever. I wouldn't leave my shit with them, Landon.
Oh.
A Cosby sweater.
I watched Scary Movie the other day, actually. My friend and I. It's so funny, so inappropriate compared to today.
I love the first two. I think they're great.
I remember liking the second one pretty okay.
I didn't like the second one.
I don't know what it is. It's like growing up with Airplane and Naked Gun and Hot Shots and like Loaded Weapon 1. Those movies just like really spoiled me for parodies. And I felt like a lot of the Scary Movie stuff, it was just like literally just recreating like moments from movies, or a lot of like bush and cum jokes where I'm just like, oh, a big bush and a lot of cum. And I'm just sort of like, it's
there's
whatever.
Nothing wrong with bush and cum. Come on now, Davey.
I think you can earn those jokes for sure. But yeah, the second one, like with Chris Elliott with like the gimpy arm and everything. And
I had a potentially good idea for an Austin Powers 4, because there's talk about it coming out, where he goes from the 90s to now and he's a fish out of water. No. Now that I reckon, if they weren't afraid to take the piss of what's happening now, that would be awesome.
Yeah. It would be even crazier than it was when he came out of cryo in the 90s.
Yeah.
He would have to like be somebody's assistant. He would like have to work under like a woman. There'd be like a woman spy and he would have to be like her lackey.
Yeah. If they just thought, fuck it, let's make a really raw comedy, it'd be awesome.
Yeah. Big Rod says Davey is like the gateway drug of YouTube horror. I found so many other great channels thanks to his collaborations. Hell yeah, man. It's awesome to hear, Big Rod. There's the cool thing about the YouTube space for whatever you're into is I always feel like there's room for more people because everyone wants to enjoy more content. So it's not about if one person finds success, I don't feel like it necessarily needs to take away from anyone else's. So that's why I'm always about lifting people up in the community and and just
100%.
I personally try not to mansplain too many horror films to people. Like, I don't want to get people triggered.
Yeah, I'm not here for your monologue, Janks.
Yeah. Amen to that, or a women.
There you go. Yes, the frat cult. Sorry, I'm way behind on the chat, guys. Here, I'm going to catch up. Oh, we got horror slasher. Recommend Christmas, Bloody Christmas? Is that what you're talking about there, horror slasher?
The tension in this scene is palpable.
Is it wrong that I'm really enjoying this film?
Yeah, Jamie, I hear you. I think there certainly are pockets of people that feel that way. That's why I think this movie's worth watching, because it makes it so to me it undercuts the fact that really happens by how over the top it is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Rod. Or if you're Aussie or from New Zealand, I think they can use the C word too. But people have a really tough time out here in North America with that word.
It's a term of endearment over here.
Yeah. What's happening, Kanan? How you doing, man? So great to see you. Guys, if you don't sub over to Ghost Pirate Entertainment, go check out Kanan's channel. And Kanan, we are watching it to make fun of it. We're taking the piss, as they say.
Yeah. That's the thing about this film, is that some of the themes are important, but they're just too on the nose. And if you're a good writer, you can just lay the tracks very subtly, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge missed opportunity here.
Yeah.
I think they just got a little greedy with it. I think you've said that before, Aaron, that you look like Chris Elliott.
Is she the one with the pad just now?
Yes.
The period pad. Oh my god, she's such a unrealistic character.
Yes, everything she says is like "Merry Christmas from this Jew to you," just all that like cringe city. Yeah, Dean, Christmas Bloody Christmas is fun for sure. Abigail, what's happening? One of our great channel members here. I think she must have come over from you. I think I saw her over on your guys' channel earlier.
This is my girlfriend.
There you go. All right. I was wondering. I was like,
one of many. Which one's this?
One of many.
This is the one that lives with me. That one.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Too much she comes on screen. You bastard. Probably sitting right by you.
Hell yeah, Kanan. Yeah, man. Editing, it's people that's the thing. That's why I go live all the time. I mean, I still do pre-recorded vids, but Jesus, the editing is like twice as long as shooting the video. Maybe longer.
Yeah, lives are so much easier, aren't they?
Very much so. What's happening, Paula? One of our great channel members as well. And see, Paula really likes this one. Well, there you go. They even had to change the cat's name in the originals, Claude. They even like it's like so petty that they had to change the cat's name too.
To a female cat.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Dean. Well, there we go. There's the cat. Crisis averted. Oh, and it's an Exorcist 3.
Oh, that's
rip
so.
off. All right.
That's so Exorcist 3
with the knife.
Yeah.
Not as effective with a set of Christmas lights, I will say.
Yeah. And not as effective as I don't want to spoil anything if Jenks ever does decide to do something good for himself and watch the original Black Christmas, but Claire's death in that film is far more like unsettling and like fly on the wall kind of thing.
I've got 3 days to watch the original Black Christmas now before Christmas because I can't watch it.
There
after,
you go.
You know, I'll have to wait till next year.
Exactly. Just knock it out. It's great.
I feel like horror films, even if they're seasonal, like Christmas horror movies, you can watch them any time of the year. I watch Halloween year round.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you seen Vivarium, Davey?
What's that? Vivarium?
Vivarium with her in it, her and Jesse Eisenberg. It's worth a watch.
Oh, is that the one where they live in like it's like a Twilight Zone where they're in this neighborhood where every house is like the same? Okay.
Can't get out.
I have never, this is the only thing I've ever seen her in. I didn't watch 28 Weeks Later because like the third time I watched 28 Days Later, I realized I didn't really like the movie anymore. I liked it like the first time. And then the second time I was like, oh, it's just like takes the cool shit from Day of the Dead, but like it looks all like I didn't like the digital grainy look anymore. And I just was like, that was a time in my life. I was like 21 or 22 and I was starting to get pissed that like the zombie resurgence was coming back and everyone was leaving George Romero behind.
Yeah.
I rewatched it a couple of nights ago, 28 Days Later, and I still think it's a fantastic film. I did struggle with the quality of it, especially on a big TV. I didn't know what was going on half the time, but it's very raw, very scary.
Early noughties was a lot of shaky cam, wasn't there? And I'm glad that's gone now. It wasn't a good era.
Did you think the sequel's better?
No, it's good. Okay. It's a good sequel, but I didn't like the end of 28 Days Later, but the opening of 28 Weeks Later is better than, they got bit of both.
I've heard a lot about that opening, and then I haven't even seen the trailer for the new one, but I've heard really good things about the new one, or the the trailer at least.
It's worth just watching the opening scene of the second one because it's epic.
Yeah.
Imogen Poots is also in one of my favorite movies, Green Room. Fantastic film.
That's got Ben Kingsley is in that one.
No, you're thinking of
or Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. Yes.
And then
white supremacists.
Both bald British men, so not far off.
Neo-Nazis there in a nightclub, in a pub.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking, what's the kid's name who he was in Star Trek that passed away? Yeah, man, that's a really sad loss. I thought he was a very good actor.
27 Club.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film.
What is this meant to be like a few days before Christmas?
Yeah, you would imagine it's like the girls that haven't gone home or just waiting to go home or don't have a home to go to. They really don't. They don't address it with everyone, unfortunately.
The thing as well is that it doesn't feel very Christmassy. I know there's snow. But it doesn't feel very Christmassy. I know it's a horror, but
there's no Christmas songs so far.
Yeah, and even like they had the tree, but there's no like the soft glow of the Christmas lights or anything like that. And I think the original and the 06 version have that like that goldish like vintage look to them, and
Gothic
then with the warmth
Christmas horror like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially I would say that's like one of the things that the 06 version does so well. Like you can shit on certain, decisions in the story, but man, it really has a Christmas atmosphere.
Yeah, this one it lacks complete Christmas. I don't feel anything Christmassy about it at all. Look at these washed out scenes.
Yeah.
It needs to be more colorful. Every scene is just washed out of any color.
Yeah. It's like white and blue, and then now it's like beige and blue. But that's like a thing I see in film a lot. Like when you watch like the Marvel movies, you're like, where the fuck is the color? They just suck the color out of like the suits. When you watch like as they progressed, it just seems to be a thing that they do in post when they make movies now.
Me?
I don't have social media because I'm the best man ever.
You're too busy holding doors open.
Yep. He left social media after people made fun of his Cosby sweater posts. Yeah.
It made me laugh because on the captions it said door opening and he wasn't there to open it. So
he wasn't there to open it.
That door for her. Who opened that door for her?
He's really changed since she first met him 2 days ago.
Don't let the door hit you on your way out.
Let me guess, this guy doesn't give a shit.
Yes. He might as well be like, you're acting hysterical. Yeah, exactly.
What a bastard.
Oh, and he's just continuing putting mayo on his sandwich. Like, pay some attention.
He's eating like the worst. Like even the sandwich is like a commentary of like, look at this out of shape, doughy guy making his white bread bullshit, all mayo, one piece of bologna.
If he doesn't lick his fingers, there we are. I knew he was coming. Yep. I knew he was going to lick his fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to take a bite mid-sentence.
Yeah. It's like when you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know. I think there would be
set off tap.
I think there would be some people that work in, I mean, he's just campus security. He's not like a police officer, but I think there are people that work in law enforcement that would say that actually a feeling that you have and that intuition can be very important in your job or in that job. Yeah, it seems to all check out. And you know, in the original movie,
he's got a vendetta, isn't he?
Yeah, in the original movie, the cops are sort of bumbling a little bit, but they are at least trying. They could be better, but you know, at least John Saxon takes it seriously in the original film.
Yeah, this guy's got like apathy, just doesn't give a shit, does he?
Yes. This guy's like, actually, I'm supposed to leave in 15 minutes for my break. Yeah. I mean, isn't the standard if somebody's missing, you have to wait, you wait at least 24 hours or something? I don't know. I thought there was some sort of.
Yeah, I think they won't look into it until 24 hours, I think.
Don't trust him.
Break in, just break in. The funny thing is, isn't she just right outside of her bedroom? Wasn't Claire just on the balcony, like right outside of her bedroom? So it's like if you go in her bedroom, wouldn't you see her just like sitting right there, frozen outside?
Is that where she is?
I thought that's where she was because you see, yeah, you see Imogen walking away, so you figure that's right at their house, which is kind of plays off one of the things they do in the original. Although in this movie, it's far less effective showing the body.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm looking for a comb that I lost on the windowsill of this house. Oh, that's just my kill list.
Oh.
Don't worry about that.
Nosy bitch.
Yeah. Ski trip. Yes.
Oh boy.
My saying.
Yeah.
He sounds like a Jarvis, you know, like a British Jarvis, is that your man's?
Yeah, Jarvis.
Yeah. Or some sort of like a robot that was British.
Iron Man, the computer turns into what's his name, the blue thing.
You're talking about Iron Man's computer?
Yeah, Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis.
Yeah.
Ultron.
Vision,
yeah. That's a good point, Tom. It is tough to care about these characters, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I think Matrix.
She's gonna slap her.
I love that he's like, I heard the prank went too far. It wasn't even really a prank. It was just like a song that like called him out. I don't know if that's a prank. Are Weird Al songs pranks? I don't know. Let me know in the chat. I just think they're great.
Do all Americans hide their keys in the first rock right by the door?
Rocks.
I think only in the movies. It's the fake rock or under the mat, and it's just in movies.
Yeah. We leave our doors open because there's no crime.
Sounds like a dream. Yeah. The only thing you have to worry about there out in Wales is like, how did this sheep get in my house? Oh,
I knew you were going to say that. That's how Anthony Hopkins got the part in Silence of the Lambs because of his Welsh background.
Yeah. Where I grew up, like, you know, when I was a kid, we didn't lock the doors either in my hometown. You know, everyone left the house. You didn't lock the doors.
Do you know what? When I was young, we had nothing to pinch. We got so much stuff, like iPads and shit. Back then, it was just like a big old grey VHS. It was massive.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, she was also in Kurt, that the one from The Consultant, that film we watched, where everyone swaps minds.
Kiss.
What's it called?
The suitcase.
No, it wasn't called that.
No, he brings a suitcase.
Yeah, yes. What was it called? It was they all swap minds.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Davey?
Who's in it?
Oh, what the hell is it called? It was on Netflix. It's quite it was really good. New film. Oh, what the hell is it called?
I can't remember the name.
Like a body swap kind of thing?
Yeah, body swap. It's a party that they do body swap. It's a bit like bodies, but without the body swap.
Yeah. I haven't seen Bodies. I need to check that out.
It's really good.
It's good.
They kind of take the piss from this kind of era of, you know, these kind of characters.
I dig that. Yeah. I don't know if it's my monitor, but this girl just like, she's always wearing yellow and her skin looks yellow to me. And then now it's making me think of Black Christmas 06 with the yellow skin. See, she looks a little jaundiced, a little bit.
It's
what's inside. Is that what it's what's inside?
Yes,
that's the name.
That's
okay.
It.
I haven't even heard of that one. Yeah, I've totally missed it.
It's really good, Davey.
It's new. It's newish. I think it's made by Netflix or it's just straight to Netflix.
Yes, straight to Netflix.
Just a
Would
good
it
premise.
be considered a Kraken film?
Kraken film, yes.
Kraken film. I got to put a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, I did an exaggerated version of Welsh the other day now channel, and it came out Scottish, and I'm like, I can't even do my own accent. I said, I can't even do a Scottish accent, but it came out.
Yeah, it's it's like if I tried to do New York or something, like it would sound weird, but like Southern accent, everyone can do a Southern hillbilly American accent, right? There you go, top 10 for Mark.
Get on it, Davey.
All right.
It's quite confusing, but in a good way.
Pretty entrancing. Okay, I like that.
Because you need like a notepad to follow. It's what's inside, innit?
Oh God, yeah.
And swap
get like a flow chart.
Yeah, but it plays in that. It didn't expect you to know it because it makes fun of the fact that like you're losing track of who's in what's body. It's really good.
Oh, okay. Is it a comedy?
Yeah, it's got a comedy element.
Yeah.
It's just it's tongue in cheek, black comedy, more horror than comedy. I would say. It's not a
okay. There's got to be a better place to try the lights. Oh, Dr. Doom was in the attic the whole time. I wrote that song for you.
Girls, you got to stick together. This is what they want. They want you to break down. You're letting them win.
Yeah.
He's going to mansplain.
Here's the monologue. Here's the monologue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this guy like makes a couple of good points here. Did you just not all men me? That's where it really gets for me. It's the writing is like so contrived here. It's like catchphrases and you know what I mean? It's like they have to fit in every little thing. They're like, we need the not all men moment,
Yeah, and what would you do if I grabbed you like this?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I will bring you to your knees. I mean,
could be a good time.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
Oh, all right. I'm there.
And this was an odd choice too. Are the arrows? The bow and arrow is very strange to me. That was when I was like, oh, this is nothing like Black Christmas. This is a guy in a cloak with a metal mask that shoots arrows.
He's not even very good.
He's a menace with that.
He's shit. Can't hit something from 10 feet away in a house. Are you even trying? I thought you were supposed to be on your ski trip.
Oh, God.
You don't know shit. Yeah. Yeah, we cultivated all this negativity, and now that it's in our faces, we feel kind of weird about it.
Come on now, Davey. Check your privilege, yeah?
I mean, but it's just funny that it's like, it could be any of the guys that hate us, that she's just saying it like that, you know? Oh, I thought she was like making a splint for her friend. No, she just broke the thing for, just to have a stabbing tool. Okay.
Every film should have a splint for somebody's leg.
Yeah.
It should be written in every script.
There's a little duct tape and a stick. One time, my buddy Barney, I was having a party at my house. Everyone was like throwing the football around, and my buddy jumps up to try to catch it and lands awkwardly and breaks his ankle. Oh. And almost everyone had been drinking. Almost everyone. Luckily, not everyone. But what we did is we took like one of the boxes for the beer, and we put his leg in the box of the beer and then wrapped it in duct tape. And they laid him in the bed of a truck and took him to the hospital. And the people in the hospital were like, we're going to save this because this is actually kind of genius.
And to this day, they still use it in hospitals, isn't it? It's,
yeah, it's the best splint in all of Alaska. Yeah. It's a Rainier splint, Rainier beer. I really don't get the bow and arrow. That's just something that like... Somebody was writing a script and they're like, I have a bow and arrow killer. And then somebody was like, well, we just bought Black Christmas. Do we want to put your bow and arrow killer in our Black Christmas movie?
I'd say bow and arrow is the worst weapon you can possibly have inside a small space.
Yeah, right?
In a field now, perfect.
It seems odd.
Even, you know, it's just mad. If someone runs at you, you haven't got time to cock that bow.
No.
Just a knife you want.
Yeah.
Do you know my favorite?
Or like
bullshit?
One of the things I love about Billy in the original one is it's like whatever's around is what Billy uses, and I think that's even creepier too. Just like whatever it takes. Don't fall asleep on us, Curtis. I see you yawning.
I told you, Davey, he's terrible.
You're
David, one of my favorite horror tropes in films, bullshit tropes, is when somebody gets kicked in the stomach and they get winded and wind knocked and they're coughing.
Yeah.
You're thinking that's not a thing. It's the last thing you can do is cough.
Yeah.
Or like when they've had a nightmare and they come out bolt upright, go, oh, sweating. It's like no one's ever woken up from a nightmare that way, ever.
Yeah. Or when people, I think one of the ones that I've seen lately is like getting stabbed or shot in the abdomen and like everything's okay. And it's like, no, that's the worst place for that to happen. You don't have the protection and all your organs are just kind of in that area. Like,
well, do you remember Scream 5 where I think Courtney Cox gets shot and then she's having cocoa with an ambulance driver later with a blanket and like, you got shot.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite movie trope is the person who gets shot that doesn't let on that they've been shot and the audience doesn't know they're shot, and there's a scene in the film then where someone spots it and then the camera goes down and they're bleeding, but they've been going for ages while they've been shot.
Fine. Yeah.
But there's always that scene where they look down and see that they've been shot, and they're like,
yeah,
it's not good.
There's even in like at least in Day of the Dead when Rhodes gets shot and then he tries to open the door with that arm and then he winces in pain. You're like, thank you.
Yeah.
But you see that a lot in movies too, where somebody gets shot in the shoulder and then they're using that arm. Like no big deal.
Yeah.
Doing star jumps.
Also, Davey, never cough into a tissue in a film because there's definitely going to be blood on the tissue.
Yeah.
Yes.
They go, hey, no blood. Hey.
No.
I never said hanky then, okay? Because you lynched me if I said hanky.
Oh yeah, there are people that carry around handkerchiefs here. I've always thought
that was a British thing.
Kind of an old timey thing, though. You got to wash that thing every day, right? I mean, blowing your boogers into it and just putting it in a pocket. That's kind of an odd mode.
Somebody. Here's mine.
Yeah.
Someone hurts my girls. It's my duty to protect them.
Yo yourself, coward, and then an arrow right to the face.
Did they just cut him off saying this is a man's world?
Or I don't know. He was saying something. This is a man something. Yeah, right in the middle of that word. And also, they can't really like sell the horror too much because it's a PG-13 movie. So it's like it's almost tough to tell. Like I think he got shot in the face with an arrow, but it's so quick, you know.
See, if this was terrifying now, he'd be peeling his skin off from those little cuts on her face.
Yeah, you'd have to watch it for like 6 minutes. Are you guys Hammer fans? Are you guys Hammer horror fans?
I love the classic Hammers. Yeah,
awesome. I think Hammer horror is one of the best. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Christopher Lee is Dracula.
Yes,
I love the original series more than the movies. I used to watch that all the time.
I think it's just the gothic element of England, old England, or anywhere in Europe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And they bring the keys back. Oh, the keys! And they do Black Blood. That's another way they get around the PG-13 or the R rating.
It's just like Morbius when it was like a PG, so it's like he was green blood for the vampires.
Yes,
something like that.
Evil Dead 2 has got to be the first movie to do that.
They did that too, yeah. I think a couple of performers are good here.
City?
Medley Man's just saying I love the acting in this. There are a lot of the performers that really don't do it for me, Medley Man, but I think there are a couple of these gals that are doing a good job. I think all the dude acting is pretty weak here.
Yeah, I got no complaints with the acting of these women. It's just a shit script. They're all competent actors. Oh, just take his mask off.
I know.
It's like when Batman, we better not. Get it off.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got no time now. We had a chance. That's the end of that.
I would be on that mask so quick.
Yeah.
You're right. That's pure Doctor Doom, isn't it?
Ride with the Devil. Have you guys seen Ride with the Devil, Hammer film?
No. Race for the no, I haven't. I've only seen the Draculas, and some of the anthology ones are good.
The Frankenstein, that first one with Christopher Lee, I really liked that one too.
Boris Karloff, American or British?
I think he's American. I don't know.
He was in Black Sabbath, wasn't he?
Yes, he's the narrator.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he is British. Yeah, so now we have the reveal that this is not just one killer. It is in fact an entire group, which sort of makes you wonder, like, if that's the way it was anyways, and the goal is to, knock these girls off one by one, like, then why just send in one person at a time? Is that just for sometimes things happen in movies where I'm like, they did that just for the audience. They make you think it's one killer just for the audience's sake, when it makes no sense in the story they're actually trying to tell, which is that now that they're closing in, they just should have done this from the very beginning.
Have you seen a film called Switchblade Romance? Foreign film, famous. It's got
I
another
feel like
name
I've
as
heard
well.
of it.
Yeah,
I've never
it's
seen
also
it.
called High Tension. It was directed
High
by
Tension.
Alexandra Aja.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's got a twist in it, but it's a bullshit twist because only the audience really know the twist because it doesn't make sense for the actual people in it. Only
the other
viewer.
characters wouldn't act like it's a different person doing the killing when you know it's the main person or whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. If you've seen it, you know what I mean.
I think I pretty much know. I think it's one of those movies where it's like, even if you haven't seen it, you sort of know what the twist is.
Yeah, it pops up on these like top 5 things.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, sometimes that's frustrating. Like when you go back and watch a movie a second or third time and you're like, wait a minute, this movie totally insults the audience with the storytelling. Damn it. Like it might trick you one time where you're just like, you're along for the ride, so you think it's great. And then you watch it again and you're like, aw.
Yeah, I call bullshit. You know, it's funny. I watch films with like really far-fetched plots. And if I see somebody mismatched, like a couple, like somebody's really ugly, I'm thinking, oh, go as if she'd go out with him. And I forget about like Freddy Krueger's in it, like so far-fetched. But if I see a mismatched couple,
exactly. It's so unrealistic that like this person looks like they're 26, but they're in high school.
Yeah,
you love that one,
Josh. It's like, have you seen Halloween 7 H2O?
Yeah,
you must have seen that. The matchup between the couple, the friend.
Oh yeah.
That is bullshit. Like she's really hot and he's really disgusting.
The really horny couple. There you go, killing another one. Okay, there you go.
Get that mask out, for God's sake.
Yeah, but how many more are there? And then that's a really weird edit because now we're in a different house. We're in the house from the girls at the beginning. So that's a very sort of confusing edit there to show you that, yeah, this is something that's happening campus-wide, or at least 2 houses.
Yeah, that is confusing.
I feel like, especially with the way the story goes here in the 3rd act, it may have like behooved them to maybe spend a little more time with the other girls as well, or just don't have them involved.
Yeah. I'll take his mask off.
Or they're going to make a sequel where we get to see it from the other girls' perspectives. It's Landon. No, I'm just joking.
It's Bill Cosby.
He's so hot. God, he's so dreamy and rich looking.
Dreamy.
Deeks, the Deeks.
Look at his 6-pack.
Yeah. Yeah, just get the hell out of there. You got that dress. The dress keeps on popping up there. Get the keys. Are the keys covered in black goo, though? These guys just keep on coming up out of nowhere.
Who makes those masks, innit?
I guess they must manufacture them in the frat house.
Yeah. Do you know, I think I might have seen this film. It looks quite familiar.
Memory dumped it, though, huh?
I think so. It happens sometimes. They're so generic. So many of these films.
There we go. We get the bag. Thank God
was
for the bag.
See, all the best.
Hey there, Paula. You got to hold it down. The mods got to hold it down. It's been okay so far on this stream. I don't know if you guys ever get trolls in the lives.
Yeah, we had a bad
one. We had a really bad one last week, and we still haven't got a mod. We haven't got a mod yet.
We racist stuff, like really nasty stuff, just for effect. You know?
Yeah.
He was saying there were the Welsh sheep shaggers, and it was just disgusting. No, he was horrible.
Like, it might be true, but you have to say it. You know?
No,
yeah, like
this guy was.
Don't remind me.
I've had a little bit of that, and then we've had the people that come in with like, it looks like they're fellow YouTubers that I know, but they have like fake accounts and they start saying a bunch of really terrible shit. It's wild.
It's horrible. If it's like a bunch of young teens taking the piss, not that they're innocent, but you get a pass because kids are stupid. But when it's a grown up, you're thinking, fucking hell.
Yeah. I think it's just one that keeps on coming back in. Like he'll get booted and come back in and start doing the same stuff. It's gross.
Like people get obsessive, don't they? They find an account they want to troll, and then that's it. Like,
yeah. What's happening, Robert the Wolfman? Ow, ow! How you doing, man? One of our great Death Squad mods.
I think it's probably as well because we're smaller channels. We're probably more likely to read out stuff.
Yeah,
you know, if you're massive, you're probably going to get lost in the mix.
Yeah, it's just made me be a lot more. I just keep a watchful eye out for something that just looks odd.
Yeah,
definitely now after last week, because I was reading his comments out, not really knowing what he was saying.
He was spelling out the N word with each message.
Yep, that person's been here as well. Yep, they probably just float around and try to get your stream taken down by putting hateful stuff in there.
Really?
Who are those people that have that time? Like, just go start a channel and be creative yourself if you're so creative. You know?
Yeah, we're going to get a mod now next year. We've had a few offers, so we didn't think we needed it, but I think we will.
Yeah, before I had a mod, I was like, my channel's small potatoes. No one cares. And then it happened a couple of times, and I was like, okay, enough is enough.
Yeah, that's where we're at now.
Do all Americans have automatic cars? I never see like Gears in America.
Gears?
Gears. Gear stick. Gears.
It's definitely automatic is definitely like the wave of like the most modern vehicles. I think a lot of times you probably have to pay extra if you want we call it manual over here or stick shift over here.
Yeah.
I think usually it costs more, and it's they probably don't make as many of them, and like that's what I grew up driving was a stick shift.
So over here, if you pass your license with a automatic, you can only drive an automatic. I'm guessing it's the same.
I don't know about that, but you'd be screwed if you only could drive an automatic and you tried to drive a stick shift. You would just like lurch forward, right? Yeah. But I don't think there's a difference in like the licensing.
Yeah, so it's because it's so rare. So I suppose everybody starts with a stick, and then you can drive an automatic as well because it's quite easy.
Yeah, that's what my parents were like. You're going to learn a stick because anyone could drive an automatic, so you'll be qualified to do that. And if there's an emergency, you can drive a stick.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the two sororities converge. What about all the other? Are there only 2 sororities on campus, or are all the other girls they're just leaving them for dead?
This bow just isn't practical at all.
Yeah. Why if they cut to another scene?
To a good old shotgun.
They shouldn't have cut to another scene then so quick.
So this guy, right? She's just bumped into him in the road.
Yeah.
And apparently was coming from an orphan dinner. Of course he was. Yeah. I've just got back from the orphan's dinner.
And no suspicion at all. Like out of everything that she just saw, where it's like a whole group of people are out there trying to get her and her friends, and she has 0 level of suspicion.
Those guys wouldn't hold a door open.
No.
Yeah.
You've been sated.
As Grand Moff Tarkin says in Star Wars, you're far too trusting. I love this. Ooh, he's so upset. Oh, throw an aluminum can about it, why don't you?
I tell you what, this is the first frat film I've ever seen with no red plastic cups.
The blue, they're obsessed with the blue. It's all about the white and the blues in this movie. I noticed that all the walls are blue, no matter what building they're in.
That is like epitome of when we watch American films, when you see those red cups in parties.
Mm-hmm. You guys don't have. What do you guys drink out of over there?
Just cans.
At a kegger? What do you have at a kegger?
No keggers. Just cans of lager or beer bottles.
Oh, okay.
Never paper cups.
No kegs, even at a like. What about events? So you guys go to like a festival or something? It's just cans.
Well, no. They'll have beer on tap, but
Yeah.
I've never been to a party where someone brought their own keg. Have you, Curtis?
No, never. No.
Just warm cans on a
Yeah,
Tuesday.
just warm cans.
Got to come hang out with us stateside. Go to a real kegger. Do a keg stand. It'll be fun. The ringing.
I've never been to America. I'd love to.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times. It's good. I've been to Mexico, New York, and Vegas. It's really good.
Oh, nice. That's cool to be able to check out New York and then see a little bit about with the western part of the country as well. It's just crazy when you look at how big like United States is compared, like just size wise, to other countries and even other continents. Like it's bigger than, or it's like the size of Europe, the continental US.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. People always say, "Oh, Americans don't have passports," but British people wouldn't have a passport if we didn't need one to go to Europe.
Yeah,
we would just stay in Europe, and you don't need to. Your country's massive.
And even until like September 11th, I'm pretty sure you could go to like Canada and Mexico and didn't really need one, at least with Canada. And then they really started nipping that down.
Yeah.
So see, Helena wasn't dead. She's a friggin' turncoat.
She was in on it. Bitch. Are they going to mansplain now their plot monologue?
Oh, you're going to get some great lines here.
I love a good monologue.
There you go. Leanna's been to Wales.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, amazing.
There's only about 10 people there. You probably saw us.
Yeah.
We have some quite wild nights in Wales where we're quite hardcore with boozing. It's quite especially where we're from in South Wales.
We've had some mental weekends, Jenks.
Yeah, if you watch like there's a film called The Dirt about the Motley Crue, and you see Ozzy Osbourne like snorting a line of ants and stuff, and you're thinking that's nothing. That's nothing to South Wales.
Yeah, nowadays you just sort of need one just in case. Oh, and he's got the purple cloak, which shows that he's the leader.
Sigma Beta.
Yeah, so again, they make a weird, one of the points they're making is even if you are a good guy, no, you will just be sucked in and turned into an evil person.
Is this meant to be supernatural?
It pretty much is, but they don't really explain it.
I think
again, a made up person here. So
this is totally like the Stonecutters with the paddling of the swollen ass.
Yeah.
Oh no, they've converted the pick me.
When she says you're all insane and he says not insane, simply men. I'm like, that sort of says it all for this movie. Wow.
He does do a good English accent. I give it to her. You could easily think he was English.
Isn't he English?
No, I don't think so. Okay.
I thought he was, yeah.
I don't think he is, mine.
I feel like he's always doing that
English
accent.
person, though.
I think he just does a good accent. I could be wrong.
Let us know in the chat. Somebody in the chat.
I'm never wrong, though. But
where was Cary Elwes born? Or where did he grow up?
I think he's American.
Remember these scenes that you just saw?
He's English, thanks.
All right, okay.
I love when they do that in movies.
It's very weird if he always makes a point to play an English person.
Yeah.
Well, he's played an American person probably just as much.
Nah.
Yeah, as he's in Saw, he was in Liar Liar. That's it.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember in Liar Liar. I'm like, does he use a British accent? I can't even.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
There's your supernatural, Jenks. That's the flashback we were all waiting for. My Diva Cup, Diva Cup, Diva Cup, Diva Cup.
The head there, like the Simpsons. Diva Cup, Diva Cup.
Yeah. Dental plan. Lisa needs braces.
Yeah.
Dental plan.
Didn't Homer do that in the backseat of the car? And she's whispering, and he's actually in the backseat of the car.
Yeah.
Saying words to her. But I love you, but I love you.
Fall in line. Fall in line.
Yeah.
Oh. That sounds great.
There's only two options. That's another thing this movie sort of teaches for everyone is like there's only extremes exist. Oh yeah, Carrie Ellis is in The Crush. I have never seen that because it was an Alicia Silverstone movie that came out when she was like super, just the hottest thing out there, probably early 90s. I was a little too young to watch something like The Crush, which I think is where she becomes obsessed with like an older man and starts doing some really creepy stuff to like implicate him because he doesn't reciprocate feelings.
I said bow, bitch.
Yeah. The casual chewing of the gum sort of undercuts the seriousness of the situation as well. Like,
yeah,
totally gonna
get
down on your knee. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to blow a bubble and it's just stuck to his nose.
Yeah, that would be great. There's the vibrator on the table too. I was wondering what that smell was.
That's because we're on. You're going crash and crash.
Oh, there you go. Twister, Jungle Book, Robin Hood Men. Yes. Yeah, Men in Tights.
Yeah, I think he's American in that.
I don't remember him in Twister.
Yeah, he's the
I hardly remember
one.
Twister.
He's got the advanced tech, like,
He's the tornado.
Yeah.
Put his face on the tornado.
I really like the Twisters.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
It's good. It's like a throwback.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. There you go. Carrie Ellis was all over the place, people. Yeah, Men in Tights is great. Feast of the Seven Fishes came early this year. Guessing that's a reference to the vibrator.
Wrexham, Wales.
Gina says, yeah, I used to stay in Wrexham at Wales at my godmother's house, and my dad worked there occasionally. For BT, what's BT?
It's a broadband connector.
Yeah. So Wrexham is really on the map because of Ryan Reynolds now, isn't it?
Yeah, that show. Yeah.
It's North Wales. It's about 4 hours away from us, though. It's right by Liverpool, Manchester, that neck of the woods.
I was looking at that map of Wales. I think that's where my last name is Conway, and I think there's a spot called Conway.
Is it?
It is
up there in North Wales. Or no A at the end. So yeah.
I was there last year. It's about a 5-hour drive from my house. Yeah.
So I'll have to go over to Wales and check that out. Dean, there was a "Your Body, Your Choice" line that was pretty funny. Again, she's got the menorah. So this sort of predates Halloween Kills with like the Iron Maiden lady that's you know, brings the iron to the fight against Michael Myers.
Yeah, the iron. Yeah,
This might be the inspiration for that. Both Blumhouse features.
so good. I just love that because I didn't notice it the first time I watched it. There's a woman standing there with an iron.
Yeah. And then, yeah, what's her name? Chris here with the bow and arrow. It's like, if you don't know how to use that, it's a useless tool, right?
Yeah.
We have no reason to believe that she has any experience with a bow and arrow. Yes, you have to break the statue. Only then can you stop the toxic masculinity.
Wait.
Sure.
Women.
I don't know about that.
Oh, empowering.
It's so over the top. We will never be broken, but we really want you to be broken forever. It's okay if you're broken.
It's funny.
You know.
She's trying to lift it. Can someone else help me with this? It's too heavy.
Yeah.
That was like a Braveheart moment. We will never be broken.
Exactly.
That's a bit harsh. They never burned anybody.
Is the black tar?
Yeah. That's like in Alien 4 when she puts those clones out of the misery and just burns them alive. Like, that's not even out of their misery.
Yeah, terrible. Zero muscle mass versus zero muscle mass.
Are they fighting with paddles? Jesus.
Yeah. Gina says, I think I know what it is, but I've never heard of a Diva Cup. Yeah, it's a thing. It's so you don't have to use pads or anything else for menstruation.
You know way too much about a Diva Cup, Davey.
I lived in Portland. I lived in Portland for 10 years.
Are you affiliated with Diva Cups?
Yeah.
Is there a little
I'm actually putting out my own line called Davey Cups.
Davey Cups.
Yes, Davey Cups. Love it.
It's got a little picture of me going.
Yeah.
And it's like, once it gets past the nose, you want to empty it out and put it and clean it and put it back in.
Everybody needs a little Davey up them.
You're looking for a sponsor anyway.
Yeah. Between your legs is where I belong. Get the Davey Cup, $14.99. We got Koi dropping a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Happy Sanjo. Really appreciate you. Says much love, Davey and guests. Hell yeah. We are wrapping this one up. It seems like we're getting near the end here. I will say this: the movie, yeah. I mean, we brought up a couple things. There are good performances here. You know, I don't think the camera use or movement is incompetent, but it certainly doesn't inspire very much.
Yeah, it doesn't look cheap to me. None of the film.
No.
It doesn't look
and
cheap.
it just lacked that. It just lacked that Christmas feel.
Yeah, and it moves really quick. I mean, I would even argue that maybe the end is cuts off a little too quick there, because just like that, it's over.
To be fair,
you so
I'm
much
quite happy with how abrupt that ending is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I do like the font. I love when they do the title card and it says Black Christmas. I like all that. And yeah, we get a little bit of Christmassy here, but it just, like you said, Curtis, it's not really a running theme throughout, unfortunately.
Like how does Terrifier 3 feel more festive than this?
How does that small trailer for Return of the Living Dead seem more festive than this? And it's literally a 30
That's
second
a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's one of those things too that's like you watch something like Terrifier 3, and even though it's as brutal as it is, they've got that warm glow of the lights. They've got, Art seems to be fascinated or maybe has some sort of weird crush on Santa. I don't know what's going on there.
I'd happily watch it on Christmas Day.
Yeah. I think it's one of those like out of that series, that's probably the one I'm most likely to watch, and I think a big part of that is probably the runtime, but also just it felt like it moved a little bit easier than the other two Terrifier movies for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably just.
It's
getting
definitely
better.
the best one. Best of the three.
I avoided the second one because I heard it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours long, which is crazy for a slasher film.
Yeah, 2 hours 18 for part 2.
Yeah, that's.
I'm
crazy.
just like, yeah, there's no reason it needs to be, especially a slasher film like that. Like, it's not like Terrifier's really, they're not bringing you extra story. All that extra time is just gazing at the gore, you know, pretty much.
It's a little bit self-indulgent, I think, on the director's part.
A little bit. It is, and I think that's the cool thing about, or it's one of those weird things as a fan of horror where I'm like, I don't want to seem like totally out of touch. But I also don't want to see a bunch of Terrifier imitators, because I think that the fact that Terrifier exists is like enough for me. You know, I don't need a bunch of movies that feel like Terrifier. You know,
it comes with the territory. Every time there's a big film, there's 10 imitators that come right after it.
Yeah,
we've seen it time and time again. You know, but sometimes it works out for the best. Look what happened after Halloween was such a big hit. We got a full decade of slasher movies.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely. I mean? Yeah, so the original Halloween kicked off everything through the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said,
we would not have got Jason without Michael Myers.
But like I said earlier, one of my favorite relatively new monsters is the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, and it's just
he's great
with the horrible director and that terrible sequel. And it's just, you know, we went to the horror con in October, and you're never going to see a Creeper, which should be like up there with Freddy and things, but
it's kind of lost now. We've had two stinkers. Director's a piece of shit.
First,
they would have. They would have to reboot it or something at this point, probably, with Jeepers Creepers. You'd have to like reintroduce it to a new generation.
Did you see the reboot, Davey?
No, I've only seen the first two.
Yeah, they're really good, the first two. Third one, shit. Same tone as the first two, but it's not very good. But the fourth one, which is a reboot, different law and everything, it is a different actor playing the Creeper. He's smaller. It's just absolute dog shit. Yeah, awful.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's interesting to see how, you know, horror movies go through these different kinds of waves, right? And it seems like we're in an era right now where I'm kind of like, where is to have a recurring character that's like a creature. Do we have something like that? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't consider Art a creature, even though he kind of is, but
I think the closest thing to that is Scream. That just keeps coming, and they're not quite a creature, but endless sort of. It's on number 7 now, isn't it? You know? Yeah.
Or I guess like if they push the alien thing into more of a, bringing that back with Romulus, it's kind of a little bit of a sci-fi creature feature element for sure.
Yeah, I think Smiler's going to go there. I think we're going to get loads more Smilers. I think the first 2 big hits, I'd call that a creature movie. Yeah, I think we're going to at least get another 2 Smile movies. As long as they're still making money, they'll keep making them.
Did you see Smile 2, Davey?
I have not yet. I enjoyed the first one, and I've been meaning to watch the second one. But then as we've gotten closer to Christmas, I've been watching like a lot of Christmas kind of horror movies that I've never seen before. But Smile 2 is on the list for sure. It looks really interesting.
It's so much better than the first one. Like honestly, her performance is outstanding, Naomi Scott. I didn't really know she was until this. I had to Google her, that she was in Aladdin. It's so much better. Yeah, there's flaws, but as a film, it blew me away. Like it's so much better. The first one is kind of generic, paint by numbers horror. Second one is much better. Yeah, definitely worth watch.
The first one has that walking sim horror kind of thing, like The Ring, One Missed Call, like like those J horror kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Especially like once you see the monster at the end, I almost felt like the monster, like seeing the monster was a little bit of a letdown. I get why you sort of want to do it at some point in your movie. But to me, I was just sort of like, it's tough, like, because you build up so much in your own head about what's really going on.
And I'm okay with bleak endings, but the problem with that kind of monster is that it's unbeatable. It's always one step ahead, and even Freddy is beatable, even though he keeps coming back. He does get beaten, everyone, and just has to figure out a way to get back. But the Smile movies are a little bit like, this is unstoppable. You haven't got fucking hope in hell.
Sure. Yeah, it does seem like they set it up that way where it's always going to keep on going. I like the bleak thing too. Like I think that works, you know. I'm a big Romero fan and it's like none of his movies really have that happy of an ending. Like the happiest it gets is probably Day of the Dead where they just end up on an island and you just hope that they are going to be okay, but you don't really know.
Yeah, they can live off like coconuts for, for the next 30 years.
Yeah, like John says in the movie, he's like, as long as there's me and you and some other people, we can go somewhere, make some babies. Like, so you figure that you figure they're just going to be getting busy. Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to. It's a very odd Jamaican accent that he does there.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever I watched in the cinema this year or last year, I can't remember now. This year, and I was really put off by the music. I love Day of the Dead, but no, the music. Whenever it's got that character and the other guy who drinks, that sort of Caribbean music is playing really loud whenever they're on camera, regardless of what's happening.
There is an island feel to some of the music there, for sure. Yeah. Those guys are great. God, I love Day of the Dead. We'll have to watch that one in 2025. We'll have to do some sort of watch party for that. That's my favorite of all time.
It's too good.
It's my favorite zombie movie of all time. Easily.
It's too good. Yeah. We need to have something to make fun of.
Well, we can do that. The next time we get on together, we'll make fun of it. I can just I'll do a watch party just by myself watching Day of the Dead, and no one will tune in. It'll just be me looking at the movie and going, "Oh, I love Bub. Bub is great. Rhodes is the best villain. He's such a dick, but I totally understand where he's coming from. I love it."
Bub is right.
Yeah.
Bub is like the Johnny Lawrence of Karate Kid, isn't it? He's right. Yeah.
Bub's amazing. He's got, the most interesting a zombie's ever been.
Yeah, Rhodes. Rhodes is the Johnny Lawrence of Karate Kid.
Oh,
for the villain. The villain was right.
That line that he has, I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time. That's like the greatest.
Oh my God.
Every time I watch
so well as well.
Yeah, every time I go back and watch those Romero movies, I'm like, man, I'm almost like I can hear where Tarantino gets a lot of his influence in the script writing. Like there's definitely some sort of similarity there, especially having characters that are ugly and say ugly things.
Yeah, and I think he's very influenced by horror. I think with Tarantino. He was on Joe Rogan.
He's a mega horror fan, of course.
They were talking about Tom Savini on Joe Rogan with Tarantino today. But I forgot to tell you.
Do you know what's crazy though? I watched it and Tarantino was explaining to Joe Rogan who Tom Savini is, and he doesn't mention that he's Sex Machine from Dusk Till Dawn. That would be straight away. He's telling him he was this special effects makeup guy he worked on Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and he's like, oh, okay, don't know who he is. But he doesn't mention Sex Machine. Like just from Dusk Till Dawn.
I gotta
say, he's got a big part in it.
I forgot to make that correlation myself. I just thought, oh, he's cool. He's talking about an awesome horror guy. But I thought, oh yeah, I just realized now he's saying that he was in Dusk Till Dawn.
Tom Savini is my favorite person in horror, and I've booked to meet him 3 times this year, and he's pulled out 3 times. How nuts is that?
At 3 different conventions?
Yeah, always a couple of days, same convention. So he cancelled. Then they said we'll be rebooking him back up for our next event. Booked again, and honestly, it's a couple of days before the post comes up. Tom Savini is pulled out, and then the 3rd time they said, right, he's going to the 3rd one. Tom Savini put up an Instagram post to say, I don't know what this event are on about, but I never agreed to do this event.
Oh my gosh,
so bad.
Yeah,
I've heard. I don't know if I've heard these can be pretty curmudgeonly. Yeah. Like I've heard people that have met. Like there have been some good experiences, and others that are like, oh, he was such a dick the whole time.
Yeah, this is my thing is I don't expect too much from these guys. Like I go to these conventions to meet them because of their work, and I'm okay just saying a quick hello, get a photo, or just appreciating being in the same space as these people. I'm okay if I go up to Tom Savini and he's a little bit off with me. Look, I just want a photo. I'm happy to be in your space. That's it.
Yeah.
But I understand some people want to go to these events and they want to be welcomed. And I get that. They should appreciate their fans. But I'm okay with Tom Savini being a bit of a dick.
Well, you know,
because I've heard he is a bit of a dick.
Yeah, you pay for the experience, so you at least want that money's worth. Like, you know, you don't have to be outwardly a dick to me because I'm paying for this time. I'm not like interrupting you at dinner, which some people, you know, probably do. But I guess the only way to sort of take a jab at him is just do something like, I love you in Children of the Living Dead, best movie I've ever seen. You know, just like bring up one of his shit movies or something.
Tommy Lee Wallace was at a horror event this year, and apparently not a lot of people got on with him. I think he had a lot to say about what colours people wanted him to sign their posters with. I think he was very outspoken about not using certain colours, and people were like, wait there now, like, why is this such a big issue? But
what, on the ink, on the marker?
Yeah, so using certain colours for him to sign, and he wouldn't do it. And apparently he made a big deal about signing in certain colours.
Weird.
But the guy's an artist. He knows what he's talking about. He designed Michael Myers' mask.
He did. He was, so at age 45, and they did that like at the last day. I think it was the last day, like John Carpenter showed up, surprise appearance, and like they brought a bunch of the crew from the original film up there. And there were a couple things that Tommy Lee Wallace said and that seemed to cause a little bit of awkwardness because he was like either dating or married to Nancy Loomis at that time, Nancy Keys. And so there's like, he said a couple things that seemed to sort of ruffle her feathers. It was sort of odd. But that's when you realize, hey, these people are people too. They're weird and awkward just like I am sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
And Tom says, don't forget, these stars meet a lot of idiots. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But they shouldn't assume that, okay, here comes another idiot. Like, at least let us show you we're an idiot before you assume I'm an idiot, you know?
Yeah, I've never had much interest in meeting celebrities. Maybe one or two. Like, I'd like to meet Schwarzenegger, maybe, or the Gallagher brothers. Maybe Jean-Claude Van Damme. But Bruce Campbell. But anybody else, I was in a festival and I was standing right next to Damian Lewis, a ginger actor. He's really big, like, and
Homeland.
I just could. Homeland. He's in Once Upon a Time Hollywood, and I just could not. And he was on his own. I wasn't disturbing him, but I thought I can't be bothered to talk to him because I don't really care about him. So I'd just be like, "Oh, right, can I have a photo?" It just wouldn't mean anything to me.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you can just like, hey man, hope you're having a good time. Like, just talk like, hey, you're just another stranger to me. Yeah, it is sort of odd. Like, I feel when I go to conventions, I'm like, if I'm not paying for their time, I'm just gonna like let them do their thing. Like, you know, just leave them alone.
Do you know, Davey, there's a guy does the rounds, maybe around the world or certainly in Britain. He's just the tail of Jabba the Hutt. So he was in the tail controlling it, and he's in conventions.
No,
that's bonkers, isn't it?
That's wild.
He's the ass of a horse in a pantomime.
Yeah, it's crazy what people can turn into like a career. Like if you had anything to do with, like when I go to horror conventions, like every now and then there are those. It's not Jabba the Hutt's tale, but there are things where it's like, yeah, this person's literally been in like 2 or 3 movies, and they're still able to tour around and you know meet people and.
There's one guy who does the conventions, and he was Jason in Freddy versus Jason, but only in one scene when Jason goes out of the water.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was Jason for one scene where Jason's walking out of the water with Freddy's head. So I assume he was a stuntman who was quite, well educated with water, I suppose.
Sure. Or just not as like the insurance money wasn't as much having him do it.
But I mean, there's something for everyone at these cons, and people will eat it up because they've been a part of a franchise that they love, which I appreciate.
You think whoever played Jason would just have to be a stuntman as well? It's like, look, we want a stuntman, we want everything. You got to be able to go in water. Can't have 2 different Jasons.
Yeah. Well, Part 4 is a stuntman. I can't remember his name now, but he was
Ted White
stuntman. Ted White, stuntman.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose Ken Hodder's pretty much a stuntman as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Ken Kurtzinger, who played him in Freddy versus Jason, I mean, he's, I think a pretty big stunt guy. Even he's in Jason Takes Manhattan. He's like the cook that Jason throws against the like in the diner scene or whatever, like the giant ass cook that he like throws against the wall. That's the guy that played him in Freddy versus Jason. But I like imagining the actor that's playing Jason like walking up in their Jason costume, walking up to like the producer or the director and being like, there's this scene with the water, and I didn't agree to that, and I'm like, I'm sort of scared of the water.
I mean, it's quite fitting.
Holding the mask like in his hands, like all downtrodden, like a poor coal miner, like
Oliver Twist.
Some more, sir. Like a little Oliver Twist action.
He knows he's got a million other Jasons who could play you.
Yeah,
there's a line outside.
The thing with the water scene. I meant to talk to you about that. Think we can bring someone else in?
But.
There you go. Cody can be very awkward as well. There you go. And yeah, Dean was saying, what was it? I missed it up here. Yeah, the average person doesn't know how to handle meeting any level of celebrity.
I'm not very good. I idolize these people because I love movies so much. And when I do go to these cons and I see someone that I love, it's hard for me to process that because I'm so used to seeing them on film. It's like I shouldn't be in the same room as you.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling. Then when you meet them, it's just insane.
Well,
it's a weird feeling.
They were talking about Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves is very different kind of celebrity. Now he's sort of very generous. He's not outspoken. And someone said he's an odd guy, but then someone else said no, he's just an odd celebrity. He's a normal guy. That nonsense.
For sure. Yeah,
Brad Dourif was quite awkward. I couldn't get anything out of Brad Dourif. No, he wasn't nasty or anything, but very strange guy. I get that sense, you know.
Yeah, I think sometimes we forget that it's like performing is their job, so we're so used to seeing them like on because they're playing something, and so they're. So when you meet them in real life, and you're like, oh, you maybe you want something more polished, or you want that, like they're not going to give like red carpet journalist treatment to everybody that meets them at a con, right? So sometimes I sort of am just like, I'm going to talk to this person like I've known them for a while, and I'm going to talk about their work and tell them what I appreciate about the work.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, who knows?
I remember seeing Gene Wilder on an interview, and he warned the guy, he said, I'm not a funny person, I'm just a funny actor. Don't expect me to be on form on this couch. I'm not funny in general.
I don't write the movies. I act in them.
Just a really good comedy actor.
That was the thing with I don't know if you know Keith Lemon out there in America. He's a really famous British comedian. Lee Francis plays him, but he played this character Keith Lemon, and he became really famous. And we have I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here, where they get celebrities to go into the jungle. And they wanted his character, Keith Lemon, to go into the jungle. And he was like, I'm not a funny person. That's just a character. I can't keep that up for weeks on end on live TV.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just actors. You expect this person to be that person, but they're not. Like,
yeah, that wouldn't work.
It is wild. You project those character attributes onto them as real people. And then, of course, I think with good acting or quote unquote good acting and bad acting, you forget that it's like it's the writing, it's the directing, it's everything coming together to make it happen. Not every comedic actor is Jim Carrey, where they were like a stand-up and a writer before they primarily became an actor. Yeah, so it's tough to. It's just interesting. I love having those experiences. I was lucky enough, I've met quite a few people, more people than I ever thought I would, growing up in Alaska. And some of them are better than others, but I don't know. Meeting Anthony Michael Hall at age 45 was really cool because even though his character could have been written a lot better, like I've been watching that guy since I was a kid in all sorts of movies. So it was just really cool to be like, dude, I watched you as Rusty Griswold, and I watched you in Weird Science, and now you joined this franchise that I've loved like almost my entire life. That's a really cool connection for me, as just like a fan of movies,
100%.
We had said, I watched the other days, we had to see Robert Downey Jr. You forget he's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's one of the jerks. He's like one of the bad kids. Yeah.
It's a great film.
That movie's great. Couldn't make it today. There's some stuff in there that just wouldn't really fly. The 80s were a wild time.
And computers were off again when they
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, you could just make a girl and then make a synthetic woman and then hop in the shower with her. We're keeping your underwear on. No big deal. No big deal. Sweet. Well, I really appreciate you guys kicking it with me here. I know it's what, Sunday evening there for you, getting later and later. And I know that Jenks wants to have another couple here before he retires for the night.
This is the warmest beer ever. I've been having this for like 3 hours.
What is that? What kind of beer is that?
Madri. It's a Spanish beer.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't like
Madri. What style of ale is it? Like what would you call?
Just lager, I suppose.
Lager. I love lager.
Like a very much like a Corona, you know.
Okay. I dig that. I like a lighter, crisp kind of beer where you can have a few and they're refreshing and all that kind of stuff. I dig it. I dig it.
That's what we mainly drink over there, like over here.
Yeah.
I think.
Hell yeah. Well, this has been amazing hanging out with you guys. Really appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, or if you're watching after the fact, thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with somebody that you think would dig this kind of content. And please be sure to check out Curtis and Jenks over at Twisted Locker. There is a link in the description below. And if you're in the chat right now, there's a link in the chat as well. Guys, what do you have? Is there, I know you did your big Christmas kind of movie roundup for horror of 2024, but are you guys going to do anything before the new year, or just what do you have coming up next on the channel in general?
So this week, tomorrow we're releasing our picks of 2025, like
our most anticipated picks of 2025.
Nice.
And that's our last video of the year. We're taking a break and then we'll be recuperating in January. Then we'll be back to doing lives every Sunday. And we usually drop a video every Wednesday. So a pre-recorded video, we usually review a classic movie or do a top 5 list. Whatever we feel like. But we're enjoying doing cult movies at the moment. So we've just finished reviewing Nightmare on Elm Street. We've been talking about Evil Dead, Friday the 13th. Just delving into those classics, you know.
Do you know, so Nosferatu is not out until January the 1st in Britain, Christmas Day for you. So we live about an hour and a bit apart, so we're going to meet halfway in the cinema and watch a film together.
Nice.
Yeah, we should do that more often if it's not so far. It's not so bad then, is it? It's about 40 minutes in between, I'd say. Well, for me.
What's really cool is after you guys do that, you could do like the quick out of theater, like, hey, we're so pumped, we just watched Nosferatu, and like, here's some quick thoughts, and we're gonna put together a comprehensive blah blah blah, and it'd be cool. I think the subs and everything would love to see you guys like literally in the same space there. Yeah, be sweet.
What about yourself? What have you got planned?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. So later on today, we are making public the And All Through the House Tales from the Crypt review that I did with Cody Snyder over there in the chat, and Cody from Dude Who Loves Movies. And then tomorrow night, we're going to actually do a little watch party. So we're just going to watch that episode. So that'll be kind of a quick watch party. And then I don't really have anything planned other than to, keep on keeping on. So I'm going to take a break. Usually I do late night with the Davey on Wednesdays, but now we've got a couple holidays coming up on Wednesday, so I'll probably take a little bit of a sabbatical there. But last year I did like I wanted to hit 300 subs by the end of the year, and I was able to cross it on New Year's Eve. So I did like a little early-ish New Year's Eve stream, and I might do something like that this year. So I'm always going live just to hang out with these folks because they're so much fun to kick it with,
Well, it was we started this channel in January the 1st, and last week we hit 4,000 watched hours. And obviously that's a big deal. And it was just so neat of just like almost exactly to the year. So it's a great 2025 to go into, nice and neat.
Wow, that's so awesome, guys. Yeah, you guys have your vids get so much great traction. I have to get way more into the pre-recorded thing because I feel like there's so much more fruit there that YouTube really likes the pre-recorded stuff too. So I definitely like you guys said, I lean on the lives. They're so much easier, but I do have to put a little more work in and do those pre-recorded vids. Because when I hop on over to your guys' channel and check out your videos, I'm like, man, these guys are killing it.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely. Well, you guys have a great rest of your evening. If I don't talk to you between now and Christmas, I'll probably send you guys a little message or something cute. But I hope you have a a Merry Christmas, or I guess you guys say Happy Christmas over there in Wales as well.
No, Merry Christmas, Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas.
All right, there it is. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you guys coming and kicking it with us here. Thank you so much to everyone in the chat, everyone watching after the fact, especially if you're relatively new to this channel and Curtis and Jenks brought you over, then hopefully you check out a little bit more of what we have and think about throwing us a sub as well. Really appreciate the Patreon members. Of course, the channel members, you guys are awesome. And my Death Squad mods, we got Cody Snyder, Leanna Bevy Rage, Jamie Hart, and Robert the Wolfman. I think they were the ones kicking it with us here today. And yeah, guys, I will be back on tomorrow for all of you Death Squad family members. Please make sure to check out Twisted Locker. I cannot emphasize that enough. Love what these guys do. Yeah, guys. And until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.
See you guys.